Hi, I'm Mike Evans. We're here with Alan Colton from Root Barrier. Alan, talk to us about what it is you're doing.
Today the Root Barrier system was explaining about the change between the moisture under the building being drawn by the tree as it lives. Basically the challenge we have is to put a waterproof wall between the tree, which is the pump sucking the moisture out of the soil, and the natural moisture condition under the structure. What we need to do is maintain a moisture constant under the building, and that will keep the soil from shrinking. The tree has its own set of concerns in terms of structure and stability, so we don't want the membrane too close to the tree, and primarily what we want to do is put the membrane around the building. So we put a waterproof wall around the structure, stabilise the moisture block under the house, and that maintains the moisture constant. So the waterproof wall has to be flexible because under the building you have a water pressure constant on this side. On the other side of the membrane you have a reactive clay shrinkage. So this system is one for clays. It doesn't have any bearing or very little bearing for sand or rock. It's primarily for working with clay, reactive clays. But the magic in the membrane and the process is that the wall has to move and therefore the membrane has to be flexible. You get a flexible membrane that has a 700% elongation. So in other words, this small piece of plastic here will stretch out to this long. And that's what's required in the ground because the shrink swell in the index in the soil could be 100 mil. If you've got a root pushed up against it and the membrane stretches around it, if it's brittle or it's concrete, it will break. If it's flexible, it maintains its integrity, and as long as it's got no penetrations and failures in it, it will work. So the water constant, moisture constant has to be because of an impervious, flexible membrane.
So Alan, what is it that's really unique? In a couple of points, what is it that's unique?
The barrier itself is got a 700% elongation. That's key. If there are others that have tried to do this work with more brittle materials, whether they be plastic or concrete or other, your imagination goes rampant. But if it doesn't have the capacity to stretch and to store, it will fail simply because the head pressure to get a structure down there that doesn't break, it would have to be basically a structure that's fully engineered like a dam wall. It would have to be 450 wide, double fully caged and tied with 16 mil bar. In other words, a full-blown retaining wall before it would keep that head pressure back, because you're talking about unsupported structure in the ground because this side's drifted away from it. And that's the challenge. So root barrier flexes. The second part of that equation is the seal in the base. You have to seal the bottom so the roots, when they go to the bottom of the trench, don't go underneath and come up the other side. So there's a naturally occurring zone in the ground that's root proof. You take your membrane down to it and seal the two together. So there's a waterproof plug in this as well. So it's all about moisture and all about building a moisture constant zone under the structure.
Alan, sounds good, but how do I know there's any proof to it?
Okay, what we've done is have our system peer reviewed by civil engineers. And the civil engineers are expert in this field of remedial works with reactive soils and failures of foundations. They've assessed it as suitable for and complying with the building code for engineering in construction of domestic houses, domestic foundations, and it's so they're prepared to put the insurance to the process and are happy to install it under their name.
So who is it that gains the most out of the root barrier system?
Someone building on reactive soils are able to get the most economical foundation using this system, so it will save you money.
So Alan, that's really exciting. So how is it that someone would best get onto you?
Ring 1300 13 66 44. It's 1300 13 66 44.
That's Alan. He's been talking about root barrier. Thanks very much.